Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins.
Copyright disclaimer. This content does not belong to Bible Chronicles or claim this intellectual property. The content provided today has and always will belong to the content owner. Bible Chronicles does not have any affiliation with the owner of this property. As mentioned, Bible Chronicles did not intend to make use of any material for the purpose of harvesting gain. However, Title 17 of United States copyright law states material and use can only be done when it's for theological or general educational purposes, and thus Bible Chronicles believes that this principal material falls under fair use, which honors protection under Section 107 of the same U.S. copyright law.
Across the block, Kaheb, Belajah, where I get my chala. Who reporting live from the universe? It's the First Nations MC. You could do the search. Who been through the worst? Surviving genocide, fighting for a better life. They try to set aside the true history and keep us mystical. They say they founded this country on biblical principles. It's so cynical, but I'm an analyst. It's murderous. They refer to us as merciless. Indian savages. Now that's written in the Declaration of Independence. That's no kidding. Hey, open up your heart and let love lead the way. Light your path with the words that I speak today. Let the lessons flow, arrive and bless your soul. Systematic racism alive, intentional. Know better, do better, it's the motto. It's the good medicine, the hard pill to swallow. Know better, do better, it's the motto. It's the good medicine, the hard pill to swallow.
His daily life was filled with ceremony, and every act had some significance. The Indians believed in the spiritual, the mysterious.
del mar los vieron llegar. Mis hermanos emplumados serán los hombres barbados de la profecía esperada. Se oyó la voz del monarca de que el Dios había llegado y les abrimos la puerta por temor a lo ignorado. Iban montados en bestias como demonios del mal, iban con fuego en las manos y cubiertos de metal. Solo el valor de unos cuantos les opuso resistencia, y al mirar correr la sangre se llenaron de vergüenza, porque los dioses ni comen ni gozan con lo robado. Y cuando nos dimos cuenta, ya todo estaba acabado, y en ese error entregamos la grandeza del pasado, y en ese error nos quedamos 300 años esclavos. Se nos quedó el maleficio de brindar al extranjero nuestra fe, nuestra cultura, nuestro pan, nuestro dinero, y le seguimos cambiando oro por cuentas de vidrio, y damos nuestras riquezas por sus espejos con brillo. Siglo XX nos siguen llegando rubios y les abrimos la casa y los llamamos amigos. Pero si llega cansado un indio de andar la sierra, lo humillamos y lo vemos como extraño por su tierra. Hipócrita que te muestras humilde ante el extranjero, pero te vuelves soberbio con tus hermanos del pueblo. Oh, maldición de Malinche, enfermedad del presente, ¿cuándo dejarás mi tierra? ¿Cuándo harás libre a mi gente?
Viene a decirnos con mucha firmeza y gran convencimiento lo mismo que nos decía en el siglo XVIII el barón de Holbach, ¿no? Un filósofo francés de origen alemán. Si nos remontamos al comienzo, entonces hallaremos que la ignorancia y el temor crearon a los dioses. La fantasía, el entusiasmo o el engaño los adornaron o desfiguraron. La debilidad les rinde culto, la credulidad los conserva, la costumbre los respeta y la tiranía los apoya para que la ceguera de los hombres sirva a sus propios intereses.
Okay, man. Here we go. Appreciate you guys being here. What up, bro? Let me go through this real quick. Stop stealing our history, you damn wobbles. Hey, you're gonna find out. It's crazy, bro. And this is why I wasn't hesitating on this. I'm gonna try to be as kind of like in and out as much as I can, but I want to show you. This is reflection time. You see, hold on. Let me turn this down on the side because I try to monitor this to make sure it sounds good. Okay, so I know the sound's working. Perfect. There's this movie that had come out, a couple years back, family. Kind of forever, and it diluted the minds of many that were already diluted, and then it put an impression upon the others that, like, hey, what do they mean by that? Somehow, some way. As a matter of fact, let me just say this, okay? Let me just go through it again. What's up, bro? How you doing? What's up, bro? Shalom. Buenos tardes. Sup, fam? Y'all got your fringes on? Will be revealed. Of course, I got my fringes under the curses, It's funny, man. Hey, what's up, Kwam? Okay, so let me oh shoot, I accidentally clicked on it. Might as well read it. 2 Corinthians, here's Corinthians. 2 Corinthians. Yeah, I'll go here. 2 Corinthians 3:18. But we all, with open face, beholding as in a glass the glory of the Lord. See, not very clear, are changed in the same image from glory to glory, even as by the Spirit. So let me show you guys something. It says, and all of us, I should say, then reflect the glory of the Lord with uncovered faces. See that? And I'm going to say something. With uncovered faces also means with a clear conscience. That you're not, there's no vanity behind your interest in the Most High. No. It's a sincere, uncovered face. No facade, man. No facade. No mask. No fake shit. Nothing. All real. Relative. Relative is part of real. People seem to forget that. They say it's all relative. You mean it's all real? Now they think relative is it's all fake. And the same glory coming from the Lord, who is the Spirit, transforms us into his likeness in an ever greater degree of glory. Has nothing to do with the outside appearance, family, at all. Thank you for that, bro. Hopefully that's why you put that up. Because you know what, man? I'm actually glad you did. Let me see if it precepts on something that I'm thinking. Maybe it won't. So you guys, no, it didn't. Okay. Well, it's in the same line. It's in the same line, family. You want to know why? Because of this. Ecclesiastes 12, verse 13. Okay. Well, yeah, hold on. Verse 10. I'm sorry. Where are you? Come on, man. I can't believe this. Oh, my bad. That's why. I'm so used to seeing it a certain way. But then now I'm going to get the translation, okay? So Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. It's all relative. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Now, apparently, some of you guys don't want that. No, you want to have covered faces. You want to have an image or this so high of intellectual understanding, and like you want to go deep on. Listen, I may show you history, but I don't go deep on these scriptures. I'm gonna tell you why. The wisest man to ever live wrote this here. After all this, there's only one thing to say: have reverence for God and obey his commandments. Christians, hello. Vocab, hey. because this is all that we were created for. Oh, here, I'll give you another nice one too. I like this. Everything you were taught can be put into a few words. You see this, family? Everything into a few words. Respect and obey God. It's not complicated. That is what life is all about. This is what life is all about. But here we have a bunch of reaching ass mofos. I don't know. Me personally, I don't understand them. But hey, family, I just want to give you guys a heads up. I'm running this pre-recorded so you guys can get a chance to catch it again, or get a chance to catch it. But I am going to be adding some new things to it, and I'm also going to show you guys additional material. So stick around. This isn't somebody. I'm not just letting it run. Okay. I am going to be coming in and out because I do have some material that I left out, and I think YouTube took the video down that I had done regarding this topic because I couldn't find it. So, just letting you guys know. Anyways, for you Sunday morning people, shalom, good morning. For you enemies and frenemies and shit, stick around and take some notes. Still got a lot to learn. Let's go. Today, I'm going to remind you of your glory. In your patience, possess ye your soul. And you're going to see how just the same shit they were, excuse my language, but I'm going to say the same shit they were talking about us, like underwater Mexicans. Remember that? Remember that? You remember that, right? When these West Africans started saying, like racist shit. Underwater Mexicans, and no white man said nothing. No, that's okay. That's completely, basically wetback. In other words, what if I say, oh, those Negroes on trees? Right. Don't believe the hype. They're not trying to say, oh, no. Because what I see, like my brother, and we spoke briefly. Thank you, bro. Excellent scripture to start with. Micah 2:2. You grab any field or house you want, that you cheat families out of the house and land. Let me read it again. They covet fields and they take by violence, and houses and they take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. Watch this. Therefore, thus say the Lord, behold, against this family do I devise an evil. Why? Because they devised evil. I'm going to show you right now, man. Verse 1, woe to them that devise iniquity. Iniquity is also misleading individuals in believing something they're not. And you are part of the cheerleading team. So-called Wakandans. Who financed that movie? Yes, those Khazars. So we know real well that you guys love to be in bed. Oh, yes, you do. You definitely do. That's without a doubt. Oh, don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype, family. Do not believe Nate the Snake as if they're not his homies. They covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. They oppress a man, his house, even a man in his heritage. What are they devising? Iniquity. This is iniquity right here. You tell us that, oh no, now you are the natives of this land? Oh no, hold on. Now they got some other West African or whatever the hell you are. Now he's saying this is the original Egypt. Oh, and the pyramids. Oh yeah, and those Mexicans didn't build that. They were savages. Again, I find it very striking that you people who supposedly read the Bible, and you see the smartest man in the entire ever to live, supposedly on this land, on this world, Solomon. He wrote Proverbs. He wrote Ecclesiastes. All of that wisdom, he said in a nutshell, none of it matters. None of it. None of it matters. So all going deep on this science and numbers and balancing and history, and this is Egypt, this is the old world, and hey, look, they were black. Y'all are stupid. You guys think you're smarter than Solomon, and Solomon summarized it. I didn't have to do all that. Look what I did with the knowledge. I ended up having a bunch of bitches and hoes, because that's exactly what happened. That's all he ended up having. A bunch of women that misled him to believe something that he was not. Yeah. When you fall from the Most High and believe other gods, you at that moment are rebellious and you become a witch. You become your own God. He gave no reference to the Father. It was very simple. But you guys want to go far on these so-called historical ideas and findings and look, yeah, we created this and we created that. And then all of a sudden, me, my stupid ass beaner way, open up a book and start reading for the first time in my life. And then I find out that Wakanda doesn't even belong to Negroes. Bro, come on, man. Seriously, bro. No, Wakanda does not belong to black people. Sorry to tell you there, Afro Puff. And you know who I'm talking about, Dr. Whatever Umar? I'm specially reaching at you. Oh, I'm gonna smack you around today with your so-called degree. You ended up owing money, and it didn't lead you nowhere else, but just a full-headedness of stupidity. That's all it is. That's all it is. Let's continue. Love this scripture, bro. Thank you so much, man, that you actually had a chance to. That was the Most High, bro. I'll go for that. Good, man. Woe to them that devise iniquity. Like which kind? Trying to take your heritage away. Trying to say that they're now the people of this land. Oh, all of a sudden now we were brought here on ships. Oh, wait. But that Bible doesn't apply to us. Make it make sense. A work evil upon their beds. Why? Those two are sleeping together. The Khazars and the Negroes. Oh, you damn right they are. Who do you think the Boulets are belonging to? Freemasonry, Eastern Star, those white lilies. You guys forget that? Remember I did a class on the whole historical African, seven God shit? It's connected to Islam. Oh, you think I'm going far? I proved it in so many classes. Oh, yeah. Hey, where's that school? Damn dumb swindler. Hey, but you know what? You're not swindling our gente. I mean, unless you stupid people are, but then that's your fault. That's your fault. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. Who finances these movies? Who financed the so-called movie, The Great Debate, and gave us this false narrative that Willie Lynch was real? Who gave him the money? Who gave you the money for Wakanda? Or did you not do the homework on Wakanda? Because it didn't take me long to start looking at it, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's our shit. So you talk crap about our people, about being in the movie, when it doesn't even relate the name to us. But now I know why it was meant that way. That's a hint, family. Wakanda applies to you. Wakanda never applied to Negroes. And I'm going to show you how. So let's continue. Let's keep making fun of these people here. Y'all are a joke. Keep laying in your beds. Stay asleep. Go ahead. Ask for reparations. I don't give a damn, because I know what we're getting back. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. How? Remember, I showed you the video last class, and then they considered this the new Jerusalem, the new promised land. It wasn't just them. It wasn't just the white folks. It wasn't just the British gringos, the Europeans. No, not them. Khazars, too. The financiers. And then who used the muscle? We know it now. And they covered fields. Since 1848, how did they get all these lands? You started seeing a bunch of people moving to the west, and they didn't give a damn about our people. No. So that whole 1865 bullshit that, it wasn't because of us, you guys wouldn't be having rights. No, actually, that made it worse for us. That made it worse because after 1865, you took our land from us. I mean, in 1848. In 1865, the land was already taken from us. What the hell did you guys do for us? It made it worse. Because then, all of a sudden now, blacks and whites for sure are going to vote. And you Mexicans, hell nah. Get in the back, beaners. That's the way it works in America. These are the people that practice it day and night because it's in their power. It is in their might to do what? They covet the fields and take by violence, whether mental, spiritual, especially physical. What are they doing now? Passing laws in Texas and Florida, which took white and black people too, to oppress our people, to take their houses and take them away. Because if you bought a house, let's say you didn't have papers, because at that point, remember, you guys forget about this, that back in 2004, people without papers were buying houses. You guys forget? And you think all of them lost them? No, some of them kept them. But guess what? Guess who got them just back? If those people did not get their papers fixed within, let's say, a 20-year gap, so to speak, I don't know. Hey, look who's back, family. El Realm is back. So stick around just so you can show you how this is what I'm talking about. People like you are so dumb, man. Wakanda doesn't exist. Stick around, you're gonna find out that it does. And I got 2 documents and a video movie too. So I'm adding to this. Stick around. I'm glad, man. You always prove my point. All praises to our Father. Let's continue. Guess what? They took that property back. You think I'm blind? And take them away and oppress a man in his house, even a man and his heritage. This whole land that we're sitting on here was never a Wedo land or a Negro land. Take that to the bank. You damn right. Check this out. Let's start looking at some examples here. Let's keep going. Matter of fact, see this idiot right here. This stupid idiot right here. And there's several of you that actually watch this guy. You believe what he says. So in this class or in this show, like Chicloso likes to consider it, I at least am willing to show you some facts, not just talk by strangers from other lands that are not from this continent. How is it that you come here and all of a sudden you gain this whole understanding? Go back to your country, to your continent, and see if you can figure them out. They need more help than we do.
The Olmecs and Thoth, the Atlantean priest king,
Told
also
you. I'm glad there was
the
no
Mayans
sound.
inherited what was already there. The Mayans themselves didn't even know who built it, so they named them Teotihuacans. That's why the Mayans were such a brutal, dark race of people. You see that they would be ripping the hearts out of people's chests and hoping that gods can make it rain by killing virgins and all this crazy stuff, but then they can build pyramids and technological advancements like this. No, they were just barbaric people that stumbled across high tech and lived and moved in. I think 180 years after that, the Aztecs, who were living miles away in a valley, lost their valley due to a volcanic eruption. They had to migrate. They stumbled across Teotihuacan. They said, damn, the Mayans are gone. We're going to move in now. Then they moved on and inherited everything that was already there. The Mayans built nothing. The Aztecs built nothing. Who built it? The Olmecs and
Oh, dear Jesus. That's this is the point. This is the reason why I like doing these classes, family, because you have idiots like that, right? That claim to know the Bible, or you know what I mean, whatever that may be, whatever assumption they have in their small brain cells. Now, I did this class about 10 months ago. I'm doing it again for brethren that haven't seen this class. And this is the same guy that was debunked by this guy right here. I showed you this before, a couple classes back. Westhoff caught his ass off guard, and he didn't like it too much. Right? So let's listen in real quick.
Well, you discover he's born of a virgin birth. When you read the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, you discover that he talks about he developed the ability to incarnate at will on and in any plane that he desires. I've just done the work. I've read so much information and I've been able to put together so many dots.
You didn't come up with this. You read this from somewhere. What did you read that told you this?
The Gospel of the Holy 12.
The Emerald Tablets of Thoth don't exist. In 1925, a man named Maurice Doreal claimed to have gone to the Great Pyramids in Giza and discovered an artifact that he called the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. And then he produced a translation of the said document. But Doreal never actually produced any evidence of any tablets, merely told people he did. Sure, you can go on Amazon and buy a supposed translation of the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. But you're just reading what Doreal made up. No archaeologist or Egyptologist today thinks there is any artifact called the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. The Gospel of the Holy 12 is also...
That's an excellent choice of a song, man. Don't go chasing waterfalls, stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. Shit, that's funny. Oh shit. Remember, this is the same guy that just got totally debunked by this dude, right? So again, this is the same individual that wants to bring up Atlantean, stupidities and shit like that. Like, here, I'll show you.
The Emerald
I won't show you this too much, but
Tablets of the Atlantean Thoth laid hidden and buried under the Great Pyramid of Giza for centuries. The date of their concealment is unknown, but we do know it was. He went to Mesoamerica and he rebuilt a post over the land of ancient Kemet. He even helped them rebuild civilization there after the Great Flood. He rebuilt a post-diluvial, highly advanced civilization there. After some time, he left and he went to Mesoamerica and he built the Teotihuacan civilization. What's Thoth's name in Africa? He's known as Thoth, but he's also known as Tahuti.
You listening to this, fam? This is the reason why. They also made it into space, by the way.
And what does Teotihuacan translate to? The city of Tahuti. Same person, two different continents in ancient times. Even now, under the Great Pyramid of Giza lies an...
So, I would like to invite you to if you have a chance, you know what I mean? No rush. I don't think I'll do it today. I invite you to go to this class here. It's called the Luciferian Kabbalah Roots of KGV. And I specifically talk about that area. And I go deep in here. A lot of material to destroy some pseudo bullcrap. I mean, come on, man. Dude, for real, bro. Like, for real. Anyhow, let me show you something real quick too. What is it? We're going to look into this book too, so you guys can be, get you guys ahead of time here. Give me a second. This book here. It's called. Give me a second. I'm not gonna get into it now. I want to show the video first, and then I'm gonna confirm what is also said in from that book that I'm gonna share with you in the video. The view of the Hebrews exhibiting the destruction of Jerusalem, the certain restoration of Judah and Israel, the present state of Judah and Israel, and the address of the prophet Isaiah relative to the restoration by Ethan Smith, 1823. Okay. So we're going to touch on that book. It's going to talk about dry bones, a lot of different things. And then we'll get into it rather thoroughly. Okay. So other than that, stick around, man, because this topic's going to get pretty heavy. Okay. Let's go.
Both the Atlantean priests.
You see, family? They say, now the Negroes say they built the pyramids. Hey, Negroes. Why don't you build a house? Why don't you build a house? Start with that first. Show us that you can, as a team, as in like as a company, build one house. And then maybe we'll listen to you about the pyramids. But anyways, family, again, they covet fields. They know how valuable your history is. They know how important you are. And they know that what they have compared to what we have, it is what it is. You can sing and dance all you want. I don't give a shit. You still got to come to the land and physically take that shit. And that's how we're going to know who the real people of this land is.
He's king, also known as Tahuti, Jehudi, but also over there he was known as Quetzalcoatl, Lord Pakal, Kukulkan, Viracocha, many names, but the same person. The Mayans in.
See what I'm saying, family? So they put, yeah. Again, but you know what? We got some dumb of our gente that believe this shit. Listen, Micah 2:2, bro, beautiful scripture to start with, man. Damn, that's great, bro. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house. Listen, you already took our land, okay? You already came from Europe, took what wasn't belonging to you in the first place, all right? You already did that. Then you start passing these laws and make us illegal aliens, all right? So you oppress a man in his house. And now, even a man in his heritage, man, you must be outside your fucking mind. You must be outside that woolly fake ass story that you gave us of Revelation 1 and 14. That's another stupidity one. Hey, brother Al, if you got that scripture, man, show it. I don't remember it. I think you said it was Isaiah something, right? Isaiah or Jeremiah, something like that. I can't recall. It's like, dude, bro, for real, man. Let's continue. Again, they covet. Here, I'm going to move this over here so I can read it while this is playing. They covet houses. Okay? They covet houses, family. Right here, you see it. Right here. Look at this. Let me turn this video down because it's just songs. It's just music. See? So now, these people, see, now they're the Mexicans of the Bible. They're the Mexicans now. They're Mexicans now. Holy shit. What the hell? You believe this? So these guys are Mexicans now. Again, what are they doing? Look. They covet fields. They take them by violence and houses and take them away. The white man and you already took a bunch of our territory. And take them away. And so they oppress a man in his house. You pass laws after laws to enslave and oppress and separate our family, our children from their parents. Even a man in his heritage. Now you want to be fucking Mexicans, bro? You guys have absolute... Look, by the way, those are not even... Oh, my God. I've proven to you guys what this is, by the way. Let me speed it up, because I ain't got no patience for this. This is worse than Ebonics. Also, by the way, they're not looking at the heads. They're just looking at the color, even though they don't realize that that's considered mourning. Priests are mourning. Anyhow, let's continue to watch the stupidity. Again, therefore, thus say the Lord, behold, against this family do I devise an evil from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall you go hotly, for this time is evil. This is evil. Revelation 3:9, like I told you. Khazars want to be so-called Jews, right? Negroes want to be so-called Jews, right? Whose heritage are they taking? Didn't the Khazars come to this land as a promised land? We've read that they knew exactly who we were. They knew we were keeping the customs. But what did they say? Nah, don't worry about it. Oh, these guys are black people now? No, I'm sorry. So what am I, man? Oh, that's right, I'm Mongolian. Yet Mongolian, so-called, supposedly a derogatory name, right? They don't have any of our customs or diet or any of that. This is what's really going on, family, right here. You see this? So now, matter of fact, I'm glad that this is also part of it, because in this also same book, it talks about, in Ethan Smith, it actually talks about this narrative, this argument, this Mongolian Tartar concept. And it's going to be tackled today as well. So stick around, take notes, because in this channel we bring facts. We don't just say things because we feel this way. No, we read, we understand, and then we express it, whether you like it or not. Let's continue. Now they're saying, those are not you. Did you ever think that it would come to this? Did you ever think that it would come to that? Isaiah 118, come now and let us reason together, say the Lord. Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Though they be red like crimson, they should be as wool. There's another one that says snow like wool. That's clean. Because snow is extremely white, bright. Like bright white. You see this here? The light-skinned Central and South Americans we see today are nothing but mixed races. When the white Europeans conquered America, many native black men were killed and their women raped. The descendants of the offspring born as a result of rape or intermarriage are light-skinned Native Americans we see today. The native black Central and South American descendants of Ham, the youngest son of Noah, the descendants of Ham are commonly known as Hamites. The Hamites built many great empires all over the world, comparable to none. They dominated the world until you... Wait, hold on a second. Are you just giving yourself up right now? Did they just call themselves Canaanites? My God, you guys are fucking dumb. Oh my dear Jesus. This is getting better. The native black Central and South Americans are descendants of Ham, the youngest son of Noah, and the descendants of Ham are commonly known as Hamites. The Hamites built many great empires all over the world, comparable to none. They dominated the world for many years until the time of their decline. Do you hear this? You guys hear this? You guys hear this? There's the other one. Thank you, bro. Psalms 147. That's it. He giveth snow like wool. Hello. He scattereth the hoar frost like ashes. Snow like wool. Did the guy in Revelation 1:14, the Negro, did he have snow on his head? He should be shivering. Well, or no, it would have been melting, wouldn't it? Because he was like on fire. But wait, so what are you saying, man? Like, so you're Mexicans, but then Mexicans are Hamites? So Hamites built these... You believe this, family? I'm not lying. But a lot of you guys are asleep. A lot of you guys are asleep. You guys think this is funny. You guys, listen, it's no different for you that like supposedly into these 12 type chart stuff, right? It's no different that when you were showing, hey, mama. Thank you. It's no different. Thanks, honey. It's no different than when somebody's over here trying to supposedly tell you that they're the real people of the Bible. And let's say you are. No, they don't even know one, bro. Yo, bro. What's up, bro? Well, hold on a second. What did I say? Stop. Black Yahushai up there sipping red wine. We'll crack this guy open and come down and with him red eyes. You forgot the song. No, you forgot. He's gonna come down in a purple and gold plane, right? Gin and juice, lay back with my mom on my money and my money on my mind. That's what he says. Let's continue. Oh, there's more. But hold on a second. You know what? I want to show you this real quick. Because as I'm sharing Micah 2, right? I do recall this. If you remember, back then, right? It says Exodus 1:10, come, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. Are we not doing that now? Who is growing the most in America?
Are you?
We are. Let us deal with them wisely, lest they multiply and find out who they are, according to the Bible. And it shall come to pass that when there falleth out of any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. So what do? They bring idiots, people in media, these talking heads with wool. What do? Therefore, did they set over them taskmasters to afflict them? The same sellouts that we got in Central or South or in Mexico? You punk asses are going to pay for sucking the werewolves of these dumbass idiots. Or you that are in these 12-type chart rooms. Y'all are stupid. You came out of his nuts, bro. That's what you guys are saying, that you are their sperm. I don't know why you don't wrap that around your mind. Therefore, they set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. Oh, you know what? You're light-skinned. You're mixed. Maybe the Most High. Maybe you ain't Israel. You know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe you got to marry into that family, so then you may get salvation. You realize, excuse me. We got sisters in there getting married to these West Africans because they think that the woolly hair is going to help them. The nerve of them. The stupidity. The stupidity. Isaiah 3:12. As for my people, children are their oppressors. Yeah, these men are dumb. They're like kids. You know, they're like kids. They think like kids. They're not men. They think like kids. And women rule over them. Oh, my people. Women, you know, those Canaanites. Very emotional people. Oh, my people, they which lead thee, cause thee to err and destroy the path. Those are not lies. Check this out. Jeremiah 14:2. Judah mourneth, her gates languish, her people lament on the ground, and they cry to up Jerusalem, and the cry of Jerusalem goes up. You see that? It was mourning. It wasn't color. Like, for example, those pictures they were showing. That's what they do. They call them themselves. It's called mourning. But hey, what do I know, right? But like they did it before, they're gonna do it again. Check this out. I'll show you. Look, even I'll give you one example. One example in the New Testament. It's way back. Watch this real quick. It says here, now the next Matthew 22:27-62. Okay, watch this. Excuse me. And remember, secrets are revealed to the sons of the Most High. I didn't go to college. I didn't do very well in school. I hardly knew how to read in English. I didn't like reading. You know, DUI after DUI after DUI. You know, I'm a clean citizen now. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, all Father. But I don't deserve to be in this situation, this position. To know this, I don't deserve it. But I'm glad that I know, because now I learned to love our heritage and my gente, and I've learned to become a man. Matthew 27:62. And now the next day that followed the day of the preparation, the chief priests and Pharisees came together unto Pilate, saying, Sir, like sometimes I get actually flagged on YouTube now. We remember that the deceiver said, remember what they said about, I remember when I left Purple and Gold, I was the deceiver. Like, I was wrong. I was bugging out. No, I'm wrong, man. You're bugging out. And I'm like, bro, I'm seeing history. Like, it's not lying. No. They decided to close their eyes. Okay? They're still banging on the white man, even though the black guy that's sitting next to them was there raping their girl while the white man was over there passing laws since 1492. You want me to lie? I'm not going to lie. Shit. Hey, man, the scripture that says, Peter, I believe, I have it. That's right. I have it. I'll read it later. Let me continue. Saying, Sir, we remember that deceiver said, yeah, they called me a liar, that I'm a heathen, that I'm a liar. I'm lying. I'm just a racist. Okay. While he was yet alive, after 3 days, I will rise again. The deceiver said that, right? But here's an example. Command, therefore, that the sepulchre be made sure until the 3rd day, lest his disciples come by night and steal him away and say unto the people, he is risen from the dead, so the last error shall be worse than the first. Pilate said unto them, do you have a watch Go your way and make sure and make it sure as ye can. So they went, plotting, making sure that, hey, listen, I don't know if it's true or not, but even if it is, I don't give a shit. That's what they said. The priest, the chief priest, Sakari, Mr. Pharisee. Zephaniah 3:13. Let me get that real quick, bro. What you got? Let's see. Zephaniah 3:13. The remnant of Israel shall not do iniquity, nor speak lies. See, there you go right there. Beautiful, bro. There's no need to mislead. There's no need to mislead. Neither shall a deceitful tongue be found in their mouths. Why? Because we either are Israel or we're not. It's like you're either pregnant or you're not. You're not half-ass pregnant. You can't be half pregnant. You're either pregnant or you're not. My dad used to say that. Neither shall be a deceitful tongue be found in their mouths, for they shall feed and lie down, and none shall make them afraid, meaning that I speak and I'm not worried about, oh, they're going to catch me. I got nothing to hide. They got nothing to hide. I'm showing truth. That's it. I'm showing our history. Whatever truth you want to listen to, whatever, that's up to you. You want to keep listening to these strangers from afar, from the end of the earth, who flew like eagles? Both of them did, together. That's why they're here still. That's why they're passing laws, looking at you like you ain't shit. Jeremiah 11:19. But I was like a lamb or an ox that is brought to the slaughter, and I knew not that they had deceived devices against me. Like, I didn't know they were really gonna go this far. Now they're gonna say now y'all are Mexicans, bro. Now you negros are Mexicans. I wonder how they would feel if one of them went to jail, and they go and tell Raza, we're the real Mexicans, or they go tell the African, whatever they call themselves, gorillas. That's what they said. That's not me. That's what they said. And they knew not that they had devices. Damn, devices, man, like triple wickedness against me, saying, let us destroy the tree with the fruit thereof. Now I'm going to tell you something, family. There's no other nation in the world that when they deal with you, they say, bro, I'm gonna be real. I work with, this other people, man, but there's nothing like raza. They're just different. When people go to South Central America or Mexico or like one of our nice areas where it's not nice in regards to clean, just where our people are, they fall in love with the gente. Let us destroy the tree with the fruit thereof. They don't want that to come out of us. They don't want that. And let us cut him off from the land of the living, meaning our heritage, that his name may be no more remembered. Now, we didn't even build the pyramids. Family. Okay? That's what they're saying now. So we're just savages. The white man said it. Now you got a black guy saying it. We're savages. Proverbs 1:12, let us swallow them up alive as the grave. And there was about maybe 6 people watching that just left, right? And you can tell that usually has to do with emotions. You see, because if you think about this, okay, think about this for a moment. Billy Willie Carson, who got completely debunked, he is going around saying that the people that are considered to have built the pyramids in this Meshiacha land, right, indigenous land, that they had nothing to do with that. That it was some people from across the world, Kemetic, African, whatever you want to call themselves, or they want to call themselves, who came here to build, and that we somehow were just random neighbors feeding off the crumbs of these people. And something occurred to these rich men on the table, right? They lost their heritage, and then somehow, some way, we picked up the crumbs. So when you peel that bullshit back, or let's just say it like this, turn the tables around. Let's say that it was a so-called white man saying this about African history, and that they built all of Africa. Just like that. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's just like I've done some classes on this, this particular topic, confabulation or bipolarism or schizophrenia. There is a correlation with this psychology. Making stories up, filling in the gaps to things that are vague, blurry, but because of some psychological, I'll say it, discomfort, these things do occur. That's why it's important to tackle them and bring them to the table and like, hey, well, let's point this out, because keep in mind what had Billy the Willie Carson said. Somebody came, built, and we were just como ratitas. Little rats came out of our holes like, hey, look, they're gone. Hoo-hoo, I guess we'll be these people now. You know what I mean? Shit, that's getting fun. And whole, as those that go down into the pit. We shall find all precious substance. We shall fill our houses with spoils. This is what they said. Cast in thy lot among us. Let us all have one purse. This is what they agreed upon. This is, in reality, Psalms 83, to be quite frank with you. To be frank with you, this is Psalms 83. So I looked up the word, Lewis, anachronism. Are you saying that you're just individuals that were misplaced at the wrong time of parallel worlds? Is that what you're talking about? Are you going to give me some scientific explanation to this fucked up psychology? Is that kind of where you're going to go with this? Let's continue. I mean, it literally says right here clearly, let us swallow them up alive as a grave and whole as those that go down into the pit, dead. Revelation 11:8. We shall find all precious substance. Why? Because once we're gone or not thinking of how valuable we are, that's why they call themselves African American or American. And we're illegals in our own land. Now we're not even from this land. So they enslaved you, supposedly. You come here and you find out that you're from this land? I don't understand that. Let me give you another example, and I got something to read to you. Acts 4:13. Now, when they saw the boldness of Peter and John and perceived that they were unlearned and ignorant men, which is what they say about me. Convener. I'm unlearned. You're right, I am. They marveled, and they took knowledge of them that they had been with Jesus. And beholding the man which was healed standing with them, they could say nothing against. But when they had commanded them to go aside out of the council, they conferred among themselves, watch this, saying, what shall we do with these men? Tell what, just as a matter of fact, don't even worry about Bible Chronicles, bro. Don't even pay attention to them. Just, whatever, dude, just ignore him. If we ignore him, everybody's good. So check this out. Let me show you something real quick. Let's see if I can get to it. Hold on, all right? We have seen. Yeah, here it goes. And heard. We have seen and heard these things, right? I'll give you an example. We read this before. These wobbles here, apparently they don't know how to read James the Deer. He clearly says, they're copper color, red color, sure. And they delight in everything. which they imagine may promote and increase it. You see that? You see that? This book, excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me. Sorry. The history of the American Indians, particularly those nations, adjusting to, you can see the style of writing of James Adair. What year is that? I'm going to try one for that. Let me find out. Let me see. 1776. Okay. Now let's go. So they're copper color. They delight. Listen, the Indians are of a copper color, of a copper or red clay color. I'm sorry, and they delight in everything which they imagine may promote and increase it. You guys cannot promote nor increase your color. You're either blackety black or wackety white. You light-skinned ones, like the twins, they can't tan. They cannot get darker. They'll get redder. Guarantee you. We, however, can get lighter and darker throughout the season, depending on whether I'm in the sun more or not. If you can see, when I wear sandals, you'll see the clear distinction that I'm light-skinned and also dark-skinned. So anyways, let's continue. I don't even have to. You guys already know. All the Indians are so strong attached to and prejudiced in favor of their own color that they think as meanly of the whites as we possibly can do of them. The English trader among them experience much of it and are often very glad to be allowed to pass on muster with the Indian chieftain as a fellow brethren of the human species. Okay? So we know in this book here, it talks about several things. Like what they look like, the hotter or colder the climate is, where the Indians have long resided, the greater proportion they have either of red, white, or color. Did you guys forget to read this? It's in this. It's in page 2. I took particular notice of the Shawano Indians as they were passing by the northward, within 50 miles of the Chickasaw country, to that of the Creeks. And by comparing them with the Indians which I accompanied to their camp, I observed that the Shawano to be much fairer than the Chickasaw. You guys always bring these pictures of blackety black people. How come you don't show the light-skinned ones? Oh, porque no te conviene, ¿verdad, pendejo? No te conviene, güey. No te conviene. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me slow down a bit. Sorry, family. I've been kind of going a little fast, right? Let's see what you got, bro. That 12 chart, stupid. How did we get shorter if we came from these people? Yeah, exactly, bro. Oh, because you mix with white people, but white people are taller than us. Oh, because you mix with Asians. Well, there's Asians that are taller than us, too. It's funny, dude. Oh, man, this gets crazy. Give me a second. Let me go over some of these comments here real quick. How can you be the people of the book and indigenous? You know your heritage, the food you ate, your DNA, all proves when the word says that these things would be removed from your memory. Okay, so you brought up indigenous heritage. And then it says, know your heritage, the food you ate, your DNA, all the proof when the word says that that these things would be removed from your memory. So what are you saying? What are you saying exactly? I'm not sure what you're talking about. I'm trying to understand what you're saying. Let me get the point of what you're saying. Maybe rephrase your question or your statement. I'm not sure what you're saying. Who is this guy? Tommy Izzy, send the link. Okay, let's go. There's the link. So what do you want to talk about, Tommy? Hurry up before I start the class again. But I do got something to show. Anyways, all right, let's continue. Normalization of racism. All right, let's go.
I didn't like Black Panther 1 because the messages were horrible.
Hold on.
CIA agents were friends. I didn't like Black Panther 1 because the messages were horrible. CIA agents were friends of the Wakandans. CIA agents were responsible for the assassination of nearly every major black leader we had in the 20th century. They made the Wakandans look selfish, like they didn't care about American Africans. They made Killmonger the symbolic representation of the African-American alpha male who was conscious. They made him into a killer and a disrespecter of African culture. I thought the themes in Wakanda were horrible. There was no romance, no intimacy, no love, no black woman with a child in the whole movie. Black Panther 1 was a political nightmare. Now let's go to Black Panther 2. And I'm going to keep this brief. Let me say this. No disrespect to the Mexican community. No disrespect to the Mexican.
He's a liar. No disrespect, but yet you call us underwater Mexicans. Like wetbacks.
Mexican community. No disrespect to the Mexican community. You have a right to your own heroes, and Mexican children have a right to see their heroes in their own image. I totally support the right of Mexican children to see heroes in their own image. So respect to the Mexican community. With that being said, I did not take my children to see Black Panther 2 so they can watch Mexican superheroes whip the shit out of black superheroes. I'm going to say it again. And I don't care who don't like it. As far as I'm concerned, it was a total disgrace to watch a movie where everything black children held sacred about the Wakandans was shown to be possessed by the underwater Mexicans. Vibranium was supposed to be native to Wakanda, but Ryan Coogler and whoever else wrote that horrible screenplay gave the underwater Mexicans Vibranium too and made them as strong as the Wakandans. Why would you build up Black Panther as strongly as you did in the first movie only to turn around and tear the damn thing down? The Mexicans were clearly stronger than the Africans in that movie. The Mexicans were whipping our ass the whole movie. The Mexican leader, and I forget his name, he got more screen time in the movie than the Black Panther did. If this movie is about Black Panther, emphasis on black, why are our children in the movie theater watching an underwater Mexican hero get more screen time than the black hero in the movie?
No, I'm not. You see, you're let me tell you something, bro. If you want me to read a scripture like Ezekiel and all that, why don't you hit the link and we could talk about it if you like. But then don't get embarrassed when I start embarrassing you, and don't run, because I'm gonna go straight to the scriptures in Deuteronomy 28, and I'm gonna hit you hard, and you better answer it, or you're gonna embarrass yourself. That's why I keep saying, sit back, be quiet, and listen, man. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And did you know? Matter of fact, did you know? Let me just tell you something. Did you know that the Holy Spirit we pronounce as Ruach? Did you know that? You didn't know that, and that was down south. So again, man, if you want me to read a script, what's going on, man? You want? Go ahead, man. What's going on? How can we help you?
Yeah, I saw your last stream and I heard what you were saying. You're completely wrong.
What am I wrong on?
You're wrong about who are the Israelites. You're
Who
wrong
are
about
they?
Native Americans.
Who are they? Who are the Israelites?
Slaves.
Which African American slaves?
The ones who went into slavery. And
Are you sure they were all? Are you sure that the so-called African Americans were enslaved here in America? You're positively sure on that? Okay.
Pretty positive.
So you're saying that they never owned slaves at all? They were always in slavery the whole time they were here?
You know why you're wrong is because you believe all black people are the same. There are different types.
I don't believe all black people are the
same.
So
which black people owned slaves? Were they descendants of slaves or were they Moors?
Oh, so now there's selective Moors, or what are we talking about?
There's selective Asians, there's Chinese, and there's Japanese. There's different Asians.
So you're here to defend the so-called African Americans of America here in America, right? That's what you're here for. But you sound like you're from Africa.
I'm here to prove that
Hold on a second.
You're wrong.
You sound like you're from Africa, but you're here to defend them, correct?
No, I was born in the United States.
Okay, well, you have a heavy accent of some other place. So
where-
where are you from? Okay, this guy disconnected or connected? I'm not sure what's going on. Tommy, you connected or connected? So where are you from, Tommy? What part of the world are you from?
I'm from Buffalo, New York.
No. Where were you born? Tommy, every time I ask you where you were born, you disconnect. Okay, hold on. Hey, Tommy, your phone's kind of off. Where were you born, Tommy? What part of the country?
I was born in Buffalo, New York.
So where's this accent from?
Where's what
You were
accent?
just talking with an accent like you're from some other country.
Nah, that's how I talk. Maybe your phone was breaking up or your feed or whatever.
Come on, man.
I'm from New York.
You don't sound like no New Yorker, bro. Why are you bullshitting us? You're already coming in with
That's
a
where I'm
bullshit
from.
language.
What you want me
You're
to
coming
do?
in with a bullshit accent telling us that you're from America, and I know you're not.
How do you know I'm not from America? I'm from
I
New
can
York.
tell you're
I can tell you everything about Buffalo, New York.
No. You see, now you're changing your accent. Now you're holding your tongue slightly. And let me say something why I know this. Listen,
No, I'm not.
I've been
This is
listening
how
to people for almost 30 years. Hold on. I've been listening to you see, family, they love to run because they think they can get away with some comment like that. Tommy, it's gonna be the last time I let you on, bro, because you come on, I ask you a question and you run again. Okay, so let's start from the top.
Come on to prove how you're wrong.
Stop. No.
That's what I'm
See,
here
you
for.
cannot come to prove something when you're a liar already. You're not from this country, bro. So just tell us where you're from.
This is crazy. You've seen my birth certificate?
Oh, okay.
You need to see my ID and my
Do
birth
you
certificate.
listen to how you sound?
That's what
Do you
wanna
listen
do?
to how you sound? You see, when you first start,
It
hold on a
seemed
second.
like
When
you're
you first,
running
hold on.
because you're bringing
When you
up something
first,
that doesn't mean
no.
anything.
When you first called in, right? You had a heavier accent. Now you're holding it back. As soon as I questioned where you were from.
Accent of what?
Matter of fact, let's continue.
Accent
Let's
of what?
continue. So who are these
Please,
African
let's
Americans that
continue.
you say were enslaved? Because you also reference them from from a third person. You never reference yourself as one. You reference them. So that told me too that you're not from here. So let's stop being games. But I'll play with your game. Go ahead. Bro.
I think you're thinking
How
it
is it?
too deep
No,
into
it's
it.
because I think. Because I think. There's no such
Yeah,
thing as thinking too deep.
you
There's just
think.
thinking or not thinking. So I'm listening to you, actively listening at the same time. I need to
Okay.
answer what your
Tell me
question is.
what's your position.
Wait, no, hold on
Let's
a
get
second.
your
You just told
position
me
for
that
the
you're going to
record.
prove to us. Prove to us that they are the people here. Go ahead. Tell me. Show me how. Show me how.
Well, there's a record
Let's go to
of
the Bible.
the
Let's go to the
transatlantic
Bible.
slave trade, right?
Let's go to the Bible.
Let's go to the
Okay, cool.
Bible.
Sounds
Let's
good.
go.
So you're
Let's
telling
go.
me that the people here in America, right? That they are the natives, right? I'm sorry, that they're the people of the book, correct? Okay.
Right. And other people who were scattered
Yeah,
via
there's
the
other people too.
transatlantic
Yeah, but
slave
guess what?
trade.
There's a lot of history that people of Africa, not West Africans necessarily, but of Africa, traveled in places. You see, there's a lot of history
Right.
between Europe and Africa. I know this. So before you go and assume that these people are the people of the book would say that they never knew this nation of people, not their fathers currently and not their fathers in the past. Okay, so let's start off with that point.
There you go. You
No, I'm not
confusing
confusing
just
anything, man.
because
We're
they have
talking about
black
history.
skin
We're
that they're
talking
the
about
same
history
people.
because I know that you're going to probably bring up the
Bro.
fact that black folks, so-called, ruled Europe. Correct? You're also going to say that, right?
No, you're confusing
You
that all
mentioned
black
Moors.
people
You
come from the
mentioned Moors.
same
Didn't you mention
nation.
Moors? Okay.
Moors.
So the Moors
Moors,
went to
yeah. What
Europe, didn't
about
they?
Moors?
7-Eleven?
Yes,
Okay,
they
sounds
did.
good. So
Yes, they
then the
did.
Moors, which you consider as black folks, ruled Europe. Yes or no?
They did, but that
No,
doesn't mean that they're
I'm
Israelites.
taking you through history and I'm bringing you back. Okay, so now we're going to talk about so-called African Americans that you said that they're the people of the Bible. Sounds good. So read to me if you have the book, if you have your book, because if you say you're an Israelite, so read Deuteronomy 28:27.
28,
Yeah,
27.
please.
Let me get my Bible real quick. You said 28. Which one?
28,
Which
27.
verse? 27, and the Lord will strike you with the boils of Egypt, with tumors, and with the scab, and with the itch from which you cannot be healed. What does that have
When
to do
did
with
that
anything?
happen here to the African Americans? Here in America. When did that happen to them?
Excuse my son. Say that again.
When did this happen to the African Americans in America?
When did they have boils and
Sure.
scabs? I'm pretty sure that there are plenty of experiments that's documented that where African Americans were like the Tuskegee
Well, I'm not talking about
experiment.
this. It says here that if
Okay.
you pay attention to the actual process of the curses, right? They're going
Okay.
to be, in general, physical, then mental, right? We're talking about this. So here we see that
Says boils
nation.
with
Hold on a
tumors
second.
with
I'm
the
asking
scab.
you a question, so please answer. Don't give me
Go
some
ahead.
Tuskegee ass answer. That's not an answer. The Lord shall smite
Go
thee with
ahead.
the botch of Egypt, and with the emeralds, and with the scab, and with the itch whereof thou
Okay.
cannot be healed. Okay? So
Okay.
when did that happen?
When did this happen?
Here.
You saying here? I'm not sure when it happened here.
So okay, so that you're speaking of a historical book, right? That now you're telling me that you don't know if this happened to so-called African Americans here in America.
No, I don't have the history of when this
Bro,
happened.
if you're going to try to argue something with regards to where these things come from or who it happened to, you have to come with some information, man. I just basically took you to one verse, and you can't even answer me that.
Your position is that Native
Hold on a second.
Americans,
No,
right?
no, no,
Can
no,
you
no, no,
tell
no.
me when this
We're not.
happened to
I'm
you?
not. I'm not going to answer any more questions.
Is this a
until-
back and forth? Is this a back and forth question thing or
I'm
no?
not going to answer any questions until you answer me this one. So you okay?
I gave
So
you
okay. So
I gave you
basically,
my
you
answer. I
don't
don't
know.
know.
Okay, sounds good. So do you know who brought smallpox to America?
Who brought smallpox? From what I know, that there were smallpox and blankets given to Native
Right, and
Americans.
this is exactly what the scabs, the emeralds, and the itch, which thou cannot be healed. In case you,
How do you
because
know?
smallpox is very similar to what they call chickenpox, very similar. So if you've
Okay.
never had chickenpox, then
Okay.
you probably don't know what that's about. But chickenpox is just like that.
So how
And
was
then it says, hold on, verse
okay? I
35.
got
Hold
you.
on,
How?
verse 35 also says that the Lord shall
Go ahead.
smite thee in the knees and in the legs with the sore botch that cannot be healed from the soles of thy foot unto the top of thy head. And then
Okay.
in verse 60, I believe 61, it says that it also every now. I'm sorry, which one is talks about that the hold on, let me see. I'm kind of going on the fly here real quick. There's also one more that talks about where you would get the curses of Egypt that you did not know. Now, in case you don't know this, I'm going to ask you one more time. Do you know where smallpox came from? Okay, so I guess he disconnected. So in the meantime, while he's trying to connect back, family, I'm going to show you where smallpox came from. Okay, this is from the 7 Myths, which talks about the conquistadors who came. Right. I don't know what page this is, family. To be honest with you, I do. I do. Let me look for it. Well, let me. I'll look at it after. Okay. It says here on this page, another first attributed to the African. Oh, hold on. Let me go back. In 1519, Juan Garrido, who is a black conquistador, joined Cortez expedition to the mainland, and in 1520 was one of the founding residents of Mexico City. Garrido later wrote to the king that he was the first to have the inspiration to sow wheat here in Spain and to see if it took. I did this and experimented at my own expense. Another first attributed to an African in Mexico was the bringing of smallpox to the mainland. Francisco de Iguía, one of the black slaves on Narvaez expedition of 1520, allegedly died of the disease soon after landing in Mexican coast. Now we know that because of this gentleman, Mexico was decimated with smallpox. So before you go and assume things, you have to really know your book, man. Shit. I gave you one. I gave you a layup. You should have known the answer to that. If you can't answer that, then I cannot go any further with you. Plus, you even lied about your accent. You weren't born here, bro. Why you have to lie like that? I just don't get it. We said, my brother, read the whole 28. He'll get it. read the whole what? He'll get what? Yeah, people gave the Indians, no, not people, Africans, West Africans gave us smallpox. The Christians, which are considered white people, they brought the French pox. I could read the whole book for you, lady, but you still don't mean your R of the book. I gave you one and you couldn't even answer it. Hey, look. I had chicken pox. That don't prove that you're from Turkish Ottoman that you're from the Turkish Ottoman Empire of Genghis Khan and Meg Khan, or okay, what? What do you wait? Hold on. I've had chicken pox. That don't prove that you're not from the Turkish Ottoman Khan. Is that what you're saying? You're trying to say that? Oh, so you guys are a sad case, bro. You had one person that jumped on, he couldn't answer it. Now you guys are all butthurt. Stop being upset. Just sit back and learn. This ain't your book. You know what you should do? You should probably consider repenting. How about you work on that? And maybe, just maybe, you may have some mercy. Let's go. I have a kind of like a session going on right now. You know what I mean? Anyways, so check this out: 24 slaves, right? Hundreds of slaves, man. Hundreds of slaves. Now you're saying Esau took away their heritage. All right, fam. Yeah, I had to step out for a second, man. I didn't realize that the sound was off. I had it on mute when the dude jumped on. Anyways, my bad. Let's continue. Okay. Explain this to me then. Okay, explain this to me. And don't be telling me some dumb scripture. Free Negro owners of slaves in the United States in 1838. Explain this to me. Look, Magdalene. Yeah, well, one published article, historically speaking, that's never heard of. It's like yeah. One article. Stop trying to fit into something that doesn't fit. Now you're digging. Now you're digging deep. You've never been known for that. We're talking about like decimation. And listen, you guys want to fit the curses? Okay, let's talk about this for a second. Because it says botches that thou cannot be healed, right? Which verse is that? Let's see. So in verse 60, it says, Deuteronomy 28:60, moreover, he will bring unto thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou was afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Now we know that in Deuteronomy 28 and in Leviticus 10:26, it talks about being diminished. And we know that we were diminished. So, Naomi, this is what happens when you get emotional and you can't prove a thing. That's the sad part about you. Sorry. You don't fit the curses. It's just sad. Here, let's continue. Free Negro owners of slaves. Since you want to defend them so much, you're defending them more than you're defending your own gente. So, as of right now, I don't care what you think you are. Based on your spirit, you could be them for all I give a damn. Because you can't explain this. Explain this to me. Free Negroes. Wait, what are you talking about, bro? Free Negro owners of slaves in the United States of America. Together with absentee ownership of slaves in the United States in 1830. In 1830. That's, so you see, family? You see this, family? That's 200 years after they got here. But see, that makes no sense now. You, with your 12 tribe belief, I'm scared you haven't hit the link. That's how stupid you are. Magdalene, whatever your name is. I'm just showing you right now that you guys had slaves all up until actually, this is 1830, but you had slaves up until 1865. After the so-called Civil War. There's nothing civil about it. You still had slaves. Explain that. If you said that you fit the curses, then how come black folks had slaves here in America? I mean, I don't. You can't cover the sun with your thumb. You know what I mean? Like you can't let me just pinch let me just kind of just to try to cover the sun from my view because I don't want the truth. You cannot fit something that just doesn't go. Like you really stretched it that far. Hold on. If it's time, okay. If it's you, I'll let you talk. Okay, go ahead, man. So what was the question?
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. What was your question then? What was it?
I said, if you're Israel, who is Esau?
That's a good question, man. Well, we're talking about obviously a mixture. I can't say all white folks because they're also tribal. Because you also have black folks that are of that bloodline. A majority of African Americans in America, if not all of them, have a 25 to 30% so-called white blood in them.
That's untrue.
It's very
I
true.
don't. I don't.
Well, you're not from here, man. You're from some other country. You just don't want to admit it. That's your
If you
problem.
say
But
so. Where are you from?
I'm from Mexico. That's where I'm from.
Okay. You did your DNA?
I did my DNA.
What did it say?
What is yours?
Mine?
Yeah.
I'm 95. I'm 95% from West Africa.
Actually, that's my point. I've always what I said. Yep, that's good.
That's what most African Americans are, because we came over here on slave
Not
ships.
90, nothing.
What
No,
did yours
not
say?
at all. Matter of fact,
What
a
did yours
lot of
say?
you guys are about 60% here in America.
Oh, I don't know. That's not true. But what did yours say?
Hey, listen. Mine's I'm 92% native, and I actually have my DNA coming out of that region where Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob sojourned.
Let me see that. You got that?
Can you prove yours? I'll show you mine if you can prove yours.
I could prove mine. Mine is on Ancestry.
Okay.
But I obviously don't have a computer linked
Okay,
up.
so now tell me then to be honest with me. I'll show you mine if you just stop lying to me. What part of Africa are you from?
I'm not from Africa. I was born in Buffalo, New York. What are you talking about?
Okay, all right. I'll continue to believe you, man, because you let go of that accent real easy when you forget. That's just funny.
I never used that accent. I'm just from New
I'll
York.
tell you what, just so I can actually prove something to you, because you are not familiar with this channel. I've showed my DNA in my channel. I've showed it.
Okay. And what did it say? What did it say?
What I exactly told you. What I told you. Exactly what I told you. Exactly what I told you.
Can you show
it
it?
in my picture? Why should I show it to you right now? Are you gonna see?
Okay. I guess I should just take your word for it.
No. I just said I shared in my channel. I've got 500 and almost 70 videos, and I always show this. I don't hide it from nobody. People that follow my channel know what I do.
Okay. And yours say it come from where?
From where? Where?
Where does your DNA come from?
From the region of, let's just say, probably the point of Syria.
From Syria?
Mm-hmm.
And you're native?
I've been here based on DNA more than 2,000 years. Yes. So
you've been here more than 2,000 years.
So I do subscribe to the second Ezra's prophecy. In case you don't, okay. I do.
So
I don't believe we're in here 7,000 years. I don't believe that.
Okay. So you're saying you're native, and your Israel and white people is Jacob. I mean, is Esau.
Not all white people, man. Not all white people. Just like I don't believe all black people are Canaanites or automatically Hamites. Not at all. But then you have to define what black person is. Here in America, there's such a blur in regards to that terminology. So then you also have to define what a black person is, because America has took black and it said, oh, you have to look a certain way, typically like a West African. But that doesn't mean that all black folks are considered that feature or phenotype. I don't agree with that. I actually have communication with some people in East Africa, Ethiopia, who I do agree that they are Israel. I agree with that. So whatever notion you have in your mind, I don't know what it is. But what I do is prove in this channel who we are according to the Bible. Now, some people don't like it because I bring facts. Like, for example, when I show people, when people came to this continent, they came two types of nations. They were either dark or white, one of the two. They both worked together and enslaved the natives in this land. We have documentation that proves it, English and Spanish.
Okay, have you read, you like books, right?
Yeah, I read all the time.
Okay, you have the Lost Tribes of the Promised Land?
Yeah, that will tell you that that's the typical go-to for like the newbies. I'm past that, bro.
Okay, and the Lost Tribes of the Promised Land, right? Documents when Columbus came and he saw these people, right? And they were running around, and they were damn near half naked, correct? And then he had this what? Because it says it in the book.
So because it says it in the book, we should believe it?
We don't. Well, it's a book. You source from books, correct?
No, I'm asking you a question. So because we read it in the book, we should believe it?
Yeah, it's from a first-hand account from an explorer. It's his own account.
Okay. So then I'm glad you're actually doing that. I'm glad you're doing that because I want to get to my point here.
Okay.
All right, since you're here, is I look, I am willing to talk to people if they're willing to listen, but they got to come with facts in order for me to believe. Now, if you're
Okay.
going to
I'm
take the
referencing a
notion,
book.
exactly, hold on. So
Go
if
ahead.
you're saying we're going to read it from a book, let's listen to this book right here because this is from James Adair, a book
Wait,
printed
wait,
prior to the Promised Lands. And let's listen
wait.
to what he says because my point here about the class, where in regards to several other topics, is the concept of Wakanda. Okay.
What are you talking about?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're not following the class. You just jumped on because you felt ballsy. You see what I mean? You're not following the class.
You're wrong. And now you jump. Can we deal with this book first, and then we can go to your
All right.
book?
Okay. So what does the book say before I go back into my class, man? Hurry up.
The book says that Columbus had a Native American who was showing him around the land, correct? Are you familiar with the book?
Which book? Yeah, the Promised Lands. Yeah. So he has somebody with him. What about it?
Yeah, he had a Native American. A Native American was speaking about a group of people that in America that they were going to war with, right? And this group of people had traditions similar to those of Israelites. So how would a Native American, if Native Americans are Israelites, why would they be warring with a group of people that did not have their same tradition?
Okay. So you're gonna take one statement. Show me where that other statement happened from some other person, from some other book.
Deal with that.
No. Because guess what? I can say to you John 3:16 and create a doctrine off of that, which is what you just did.
That's not what I'm doing.
No, that's exactly what you're doing.
I'm taking a first-hand account from an explorer.
You said Columbus had this native, and this native said this. So because this native said that shit makes it real. What do you mean? Show me some other source. Some other source. Give me another source.
Our only sources is from history. It's from first-hand account.
Show me another book, like another book that references some conversation like that, but not exactly that native, some other native to somebody else. Show me some other book.
I have a couple of books.
That statement. Okay, so
I have a couple of books.
Are they with you right now?
That's the one that I'm going to reference right now.
Okay, well, guess what, man? See, you don't know this channel, and you don't know me well.
Do you have
hold on, stop. In this channel, we bring sources to support a statement. Okay, so this is the reason why I'm showing this class, because I had actually done a class to support this class, but YouTube took it down. So I'm bringing two sources to confirm that this terminology Wakanda wasn't in regards to or connected to Africa. That was the whole point of this little segment we have going on before you jumped on.
Okay.
So, unless you got something else to prove, can I continue with this, or do you have another question?
I'm looking for a counter to the statement. Do you have a counter to that?
Counter to what?
To what I just said. Why
I'm
would
gonna listen to one native dude supposedly from a book that was. When is that book printed? By the way, I have it actually. Hold on.
So we just did.
Hold on a second. All right, let me get it. Don't leave, man. I'm getting the book right now. Hold on, family. I'm trying to get the book. Here it goes. Okay, I'm trying to get the book. Sorry, fam. So I have it here is by Ronald Sanders. All right. And this book was printed in 1964. Okay. A book printed in 1964. So he wants to bring a book he wants to bring something from this book printed in 1964, right? Because one guy said this particular individual said this. But in this very same book, right, it says a lot of different things as well. Which I'll read this. It's not necessarily it is the topic technically, because Wabos love to say that they were here first. On this very same book, In page 94, it says, I did not find, Columbus writes, any bestial men among them, and as some of us had expected, but on the contrary, men of great difference and kindness. On the onset of the onset of the warlike multitude was for another day. He said, neither are they black like Ethiopians. He goes on, their hair is smooth and straight, for they do not dwell where the rays of the sun strike most vividly. This clearly was meant to reassure to anyone who felt as did that black men tended to be more barbarous than whites in any condition. So, in that very same book, it says the same thing. I mean, shit, man. You're gonna take the statement of one individual. Nah, Tommy, I'm not letting you on no more, bro. You didn't wait. You just hung. You just technically like got off. I told you I was getting the book, so I'm not doing that no more. Let's listen in, man. Let me continue with my point. Once again, family, culture vultures. The nerve of these people. You guys need to pack up your bags and go back to Africa, man, for real. Because you want to know something? You don't belong here. You don't belong here at all. I'm going to show you something, family. You think I'm kidding? Look at this. I'll show you right here. Page 182. It says here, in long expedition to the Rocky Mountain, we learned that the Ottawa tribe of Inca Indians, who inhabited the west side of the Missouri River, 50 miles above the Engineer continent, believed in one God. They called him Wakanda. Wakanda. They called him Wakanda and believed him to be the greatest and best of the things, the creator and preserver of all things. Let me continue. And he is supposed to afflict them with sickness, poverty, and misfortune for their evil deeds, not keeping the laws. In conversation, he is frequently appealed to as in evidence of the truth of his asseveration. Wakanda, hear what I say. Who is the real culture vulture, Dr. whatever your name is? Who sits here and calls us underwater Mexicans when in reality, you Africans of the western side stole this shit from us? Once again, family, how much more do I have to reveal? Black conquistadors. Habakkuk 1 and 5. Hey, family, let me stop you real quick. See, this is oh my God. This is why it's so stupid. People want to claim that they know the Bible. Okay, well, Paul went to Thessalonica, Philippians, Philip, Ephesus, Rome. There were. I'm assuming you would assume those are light-skinned people. What about that? What are you talking about? And mind you, by the way, Greece had already conquered that region by 338 BC. Then Rome took over afterwards, which is why you got Greco-Rome. And Rome dominated that region. And we know how people like to go and take areas, and they move there as well, and they blend in too. So what are you talking about? And Ptolemy was the ruler of Egypt at that time, which came out of the Greeks, the four kingdoms that were divided. What are we talking about here? How come that's ignored? And in case you don't know, this is why before you come to this channel, be mindful of what you're talking about. I've done several classes on Sumarraga, and if there's anybody that knows about that man, it's me. I know who he is. That's the devil, just like you guys. Let's go. 1 and 8. I mean, I could go. The list goes on and on, on and on and on. The transatlantic, Partituito Ventrum. All of these things are coming about. Listen to this. It's not even over. Their gods, the name of their god, okay, is remarkable. Wakanda. Not a black god. Not no black history. Okay, because apparently Umar is all offended. Like, oh my God, you guys affected our children. They really have this value. No, matter of fact, this is not an African thing. I don't understand. Why didn't you guys read? You guys didn't read? You wonder where that name came from? There's no Wakanda in Africa. Not one. Huaconda. Huaconda, cabron. Not African. So in reality, we want some of that money that you guys made. Matter of fact, you're making a merchandise of your own gente and out of our expense. Do you realize that? Again, family. Again, I tell you. People can come here and talk all the shit they want, but they can't prove a damn thing. Revelation 3:9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not. But all right, so that was a portion of what I wanted to show you. All right, so let's go to the remaining part. Let me go to my notes real quick. Hold on a second. Let's see, 184. I think it should be at 184. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so here goes. Remember, this is the book by Ethan Smith, 1823. So let's not forget. Okay, so here it goes. Start here. We'll go page 182. They're better informed or wise men, it seems, retain some impressions of their original immigration from a foreign land and from the Northwest or, quote, Barren Strait. It is possible to give a satisfactory account of such tradition among those native Indians of Chile, short of their having received, them from the Hebrew sacred scriptures. Well, question mark. And if from thence, surely they must be Hebrews, right? So he continues. In Long's expedition to the Rocky Mountain, we learn that the Omawa tribe of Indians who inhabit the west side of the Missouri River, 50 miles above the engineer Cantonum, believe in one God. They call him Wakanda. Once again, they call him Wakanda and believe him and believe him to be the greatest and best of beings. Man, come on, here. Let me put my glasses on. I'm tripping. To be the greatest and best of beings, the creator, and preserver of all things, the fountain of mystic medicine, omniscience, omnipresence, and vast powers are attributed to him. And he is supposed to afflict them with sickness, poverty, and misfortune for their evil deeds, where we see the curses and the blessings as well, right? In conversation, he is frequently appealed to as an evidence of truth and their asseveration. Wakanda, hear what I say. Wakanda, hear what I say. I'm not just making this up, family. This is in this book written in 1823. Why do I bring this up? Is because you have a lot of pretenders and grifters. Grifters, basically people that, push stuff like the ones that are posting stuff here that don't really believe this. They just feel something, but they don't really know if it's true or not, right? These Indians have many wild pagan notions of this one God, but they have brought down by tradition. It seems that above essentially correct view of him, in opposition to the polytheistical world. Their name of God is remarkable, Wakanda. It has been shown in the body of this work that various of the Indians called Yahweh, or Ol Ale, Yah or Wa, and doubtless from the Hebrew names Jehovah, Ali or Jah. And it has been shown that these syllables which compose the name of God are compounded in many Indian words or form the roots from which they are formed. Here we find the fact, while the author from whom the account is taken, it is presumed had no perception of any such thing. Wakanda, The last syllable of the Indian Yahweh or Yahiwa compounded with Kanda or Jawa, their monosyllable name of God, thus compounded. Then it says, here is evidence among these children of the deserted, both as the nature and the name of their one God, corresponding with what has been exhibited of other tribes, and very accountable if they are not of the tribes of Israel. Okay, now, on the bottom it says, a religious custom related by Mr. Long goes to corroborate the opinion that these people are of Israel. Hold on a second.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Once again, a religious custom related by Mr. Long goes to corroborate the opinion that these people are of Israel. He relates that from the age between 5 and 10 years, their little sons are obligated to ascend a hill fasting once or twice a week during the month of March and April, Passover, Day of the Corn, to pray aloud to Wakanda. Once again, Wakanda. When this season of the year arrives, the month informs the little son that the ice is breaking up the river. The ducks and geese are migrating, and it is time for you to prepare to go in clay. Now, the little worshiper, this is on page 183, then rubs himself over with whitish clay, and at sunrise sets off for the top of the hill, instructed by the mother what to say to the master of life. Many names, and we know that the scriptures have many names for him. From this elevated position, he cries aloud, like this right here. Isaiah. No, actually, no. It says that first. Well, actually, let me say it. Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins. From his elevated position, he cries aloud to Wakanda, he says, in melancholy tune, and calling on him to have pity on him and make him a great hunter, warrior. See, I'm not making this up. This is confirming that this name does have a connection to some region other than what supposedly we're being told. And again, I could care less. I don't give a damn about a movie. I mean, for me, it doesn't matter to me. But let's continue with this because I think there's still some left. There's still some left in this bone here. Let me see. Is there? Yeah, there is. All right, let's go.
But do lie. Because they don't have the necessary power or might like the ones in Revelation 2:9. Let's continue. The name of their God is remarkable. Wakanda, Huakando, Huakonda. And has been shown in the body of his work that various of the Indians call Yahweh or Yahiwa, like how they say, right? Ale, Yah, or Wa, doubtless from the Hebrew name Jehovah. As you know, that's not correct. It has been shown that these syllables, which compose of the name of God, are compounded in many Indian words. So you see, family, how they...
So he covers the same topic there. This book here is from James Adair. The other one that I showed you is from Ethan Smith. Now, I'm going to bring you back to something that I think you should be mindful of in this book. We are going to go to... I'm just going to show you a few things here. Give me a second. Hold on. Let's see if I can get this page. Which page am I in? Hold on, man. I was highlighting some of the pages. Give me a moment. Just want to show you guys this page here. Here it goes, right here. So this is chapter 2, It's called the Certain Restoration of Judah and Israel. All right. So here, Ethan Smith is going into his reasoning behind why he feels and believes that the 10 tribes are here. Okay. So he goes into Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria, speaking of the Chronicles and Kings and Ezra, right? Yeah, we see that here. Talking about the captivity. This is the captivity of Judah first, and then Israel after. King of Assyria when they take Samaria. Right? Basically talking about that. If you're familiar with this book, then you should know. If you're into the studies, then you should know. Now, in page 49, I want to bring this to your attention because I find this very interesting. It says the Jews are to be restored to Palestine as Jews. Seems evident from the variety of consideration and that the 10 tribes of Israel will be there united with them. Seems also to be plainly predicted in the prophets, right? Let's skip to this real quick. I highlighted something else for y'all too. It should have been highlighted. Here it goes. On page 54. It says both houses of the descendants of Abraham. So again, I talked to you guys about how let's see, for example, let me see if I can find this picture. Right, hold on. Let's see where you at. Mm-hmm. Yeah, right here. This right here.
Upset that Trump won.
Sorry, my bad. I was listening to that brother the other day. All right, so this is from which is the book that I have here? I think I took it home. Like I should have wrote down the notes. Okay, so it says here that Abraham and Lot in the land of purple, right? We're talking about Canaan, right? Famine in Canaan, family portrait, patriarch of age. So the reason I'm showing you this is because if you pay attention, we know that Abraham's seed migrated from the Ur of the Chaldees, right? Sojourned all the way through Haran, correct? And then ended up in Israel, correct? All right. Now, it says here that in this page, same book, page 84, since this picture dates from about 1900 BC, which was the period of the patriarchs, we may imagine that Abraham and his family looked something like this. Now, the 10 tribes were left after 538, 540 BC, 545, 530 BC, right? Some people want to be pinpointing dates, but let's just give it a 10-year back and forth around 535, 545, or 5 less, somewhere around that time. All right. Now check this out. A Semitic family at the time of the patriarch. What do they look like? And who is more common with burros than anybody else? You know what I'm saying? Why are we kidding ourselves? I mean, these are up there. We know that Egyptians look like that. We know that. People embrace that. That's okay. But all of a sudden, these are ignored. What are you going to get? You're going to get woolly out of that? Is that what you're going to do?
Upset that.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, are we going to go there? Both houses of the descendants of Abraham. Now, we know that the descendants of Abraham are from those regions, right? Not Africa. No, from those regions. The prophet proceeds further to predict and illustrate the wonderful events by the resurrection of a valley of dry bones. I find that very interesting because the topic, or at least the intro of the class, was specifically that. You know, I had actually called it that. Awakening the valley of dry bones. Because people did talk about us, regardless of what others may assume. And they used Bible in order to express what they saw. Son of man, these bones, it's in chapter 37 I believe, of Ezekiel. It should be, yeah. Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say, our bones are dried and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts. It's a heavy point. A heavy point to make, because we do read that. Now, that's what he references. So these are people that actually do study the Bible too, right? At that time, I guess, they didn't have TVs. Remember that, fam? Ezekiel 37:1, the hand of the Lord was upon me and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord, and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones. That's what he's talking about. Okay. Therefore, be the prophecy, and said unto them, thus say the Lord God, behold, O my people, I will open your grave and cause you to come out of your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. So, he's referencing that. Now, check this out. The reunion of the two branches of that people follows by the figure of the two sticks taken by the prophet. On one he writes, for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companion. Upon the other, for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companion. Right? So he goes on and he's basically making his case as he's going further into this book. He's making his case. This is what I see. This is what the scriptures say. Here's more proof. Right? Here's Isaiah. Now, he goes and says on page 61, once again to remind us, these people here described to be brought by that land addressed as a present to the Lord to Mount Zion or to Palestine are evidently the descendants of Abraham. Now, some people disagree, some people agree. I don't know. I don't care. I look at who are going through it badly based on what I keep reading and hearing, and history says. Some people that are actually going through this, and we're going to touch on it in a little bit, because I just want to prove a point to you real quick. I'll prove a point to you. And then I'm going to show you a video real quick. Let's see. Where are you at? I wanted to show you something else, but if not, I'll continue. Check this out. Let's continue with this page here. We should be close to it. The present state of Judah and Israel. Okay. So now he keeps going into chapter 3 now. Okay. You guys can read this book in your own time. I'm telling you, it's a good book. I would say order it. Like the actual printing. So you can put notes in there. So now it says here, Mr. Noah says that in the state of Barbaria, their number exceeds 700,000. Their population is Persia, China, India, and Tartary, is stated, right? Please go into it. In a report of the London Society for the Conversion of the Jews. He's making his other remarks about some other people. But check this out. Here it gets a little interesting. My present object, page 72. Okay, so here's this point. My present... Oh, hold on. Let me read here, up here. My bad. This is my point. The American Meliorating Society, I believe, with its auxiliaries might be noted in detail, but they are well known. The history of the Palestine mission also. This is important, family. It says, the noted agency of Mr. Frey and the mission of Mr. Wolf, the Jewish missionary to Palestine. Pay attention to keep the concept of Jewish Palestine. What's going on right now? Currently, right? Some people are being executed and being taken out of certain lands. They've been there for some time. I'm not saying all certain people, just saying, again, we're scattered everywhere. But I find that specific zone in regards to the war and the way it's moving very interesting, how it's the microcosm that happened there were in the micro level that happened there compared to here on a macro level. It says, also the remarkable conversion of many of the Jews, but this would exceed my designated design limits. And these things are well known to the Christian world. It says, my present object is rather to attend to the present state of the 10 tribes of Israel. This branch of the Hebrew family have long been outcast, out of sight, or unknown as Hebrews. The question arises, are they in existence or as distinct people? If so, who or where are they? These are the queries of great moments at this period when the time of their restoration is drawing near. Once again, he references the valley of dry bones, and the two sticks becoming in one in the prophet's hand have been said clearly as to ascertain this in Ezekiel 39. So he references Ezekiel again. Now, I find this very interesting because he's talking about the indigenous people of this land that he found. He also obviously was going by notes that he had from James Adair himself, who was there for several years before him. Now he's talking about Arsaroth. We are familiar with this, but I want to give you guys one very interesting detail. Well, this right here, you guys know what I said about that name, Yahoo, right? So now let's continue. Here, this is right here. In page 78, it says that the high priest, meaning our chief priest, our native indigenous, when addressing to his people what they call the old divine speech, calls them the beloved, the holy people, and urges them to imitate their virtuous ancestors, and tells them of their beloved land flowing with milk and honey. They tell you that Yahweh or Yehovah once chose their nation from all the rest of mankind to be his peculiar people, that a book which God gave was once theirs, and then things went well with them. But other people got it from them, and then they fell under the displeasure of the Great Spirit, but that they shall at some time regain it. Now, I found that very, very amazing, because when you talk about peculiar people, right? Check this out. I think that's beautiful. Deuteronomy 14:2, it says, "For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God, and the Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself, above all the nations that are upon the earth." And he repeats it again, right? Deuteronomy 26:18. It says, "And the Lord has avouched thee this day to be his peculiar people, as he had promised thee, and that thou shouldest keep all his commandments." Now, that's the Old Testament. He says it again in the New Testament. Titus 2:14. "Who gave himself for us, that he might redeem us from all iniquity, and purify unto himself a peculiar people, zealous of good works." Once more, says it again in Peter. 1 Peter 2:9. "But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praise of him who had called you out of the darkness into his marvelous light." So again, Ethan Smith says that our indigenous leaders, right, our chief head or chief priest, the high priest, when addressing us to his people, what they call the old divine speech, calls them the beloved and holy people, urges them to imitate their virtuous ancestors, meaning like our forefathers, like our fathers and our great-grandfathers, right? And tells them of their beloved land flowing with milk and honey. They tell you that Yehovah was once their chosen nation from all the rest of mankind to be his peculiar people. Unfortunately, God brought his punishment, right? Now, some, and it says here too also that, here, let's see here. They tell you that Yahweh once chose their nation from all the rest of mankind. Christmas Christians get butthurt about that. And This is nothing to boast, to be honest. You should be privileged. You should feel privileged. Not boastful, privileged. 2 Ezra 6:54, and after these Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. All these have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sake. And as for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but like unto a spittle. He repeats that in Isaiah 40, in case you don't know that. Matter of fact, let's go to it. I'll show you real quick. It's getting cold in here, family. Sorry, my heater's not working. It says, Isaiah 40:17, all nations before him are as nothing. They are counted to him less than nothing but vanity. But in verse 44, he says, ye yet hear now, O Jacob, my servants, and Israel, whom I have chosen. So he does choose. Now, somebody's wrong. And some people are going to pay dearly. Psalms 105:6. O ye seed of Abraham, his servant, ye children of Jacob, his chosen. Seed of Abraham, never changed. Just like Romans. Isaiah 41:8 says the same thing. Let's check it again. It says here, but thou, Israel, art my servant, Jacob, whom I have chosen, the seed of Abraham, my friend. Damn. My friend. Let's continue. Let's continue on these things. I want to bring this point to you guys because a lot of you guys, let me see if I can read this. Did it be, yeah, maybe. Well, it does talk about dry bones. I mentioned to you guys, actually somebody was here earlier, in case you don't know this family, somebody's trying to sit here and question us, or question me. And he's asking me to prove my DNA. I'm like, I've showed it in my channel several times. Either way, if I show it to you guys don't believe it anyways. You find an excuse not to believe it. So what does it matter? If you really want to know, look at my videos. It'll show you. Page 81 says that the Indians are descendants of Israel. Okay, I'm just randomly touching on that real quick. I just got something to show you because I think this needs to be talked about. So here he talks about different points. By the way, sorry, my bad. Let me just get to my point. Page 95, I think. Okay, here it goes right here. So you guys can find this on page 88 in this book, okay? So we have a lot of grifters that want to pin us to either being European or Tartarian or Mongolian, right? So here Ethan Smith touches on that. It says, Eulaw, by Dr. Williams, had a great acquaintance with the Indians of South America and some parts of North America. Speaking of the Indians of Cape Breton, in the latter, he declared them to be the same people with the Indian in Peru. If we have seen one American, he said, we may be said to have seen them all. This remarks do not apply to all the people in northern extremities of America. He says, the Eskimo natives appear to be a different race of men. You understand that now? Which I've said that before. And scriptures always talk about how Israel tends to have strangers among them. I've always said it before. And historically speaking, from what I found, there was never any issues with them. If you live in peace, we'll live in peace. But we know that we're not the same. Now, was there a mixture? Of course there was. Had to be. We see it. This race are found in Labrador, in Greenland, and round Hudson Bay. We're talking about up north, up there, like Alaska, all of those areas, Canada, all of that stuff. Not in North America, not in Mexico, not in Central. All these appear evidently the same with the Lampender, Zemblins, Samoyeds, and Tartars in the east. Oof.
Oh, that's gonna hurt!
They probably migrated to the Western Hemisphere at periods subsequent to the migration of the Indians, to me after. They and some of them might have come from the north of Europe. Eskimos. This is in 1923. Ethan Smith is basically debunking these wobbos. All you idiots that think you know history. This guy went around and studied this stuff. Not like you that sat around behind and, saw some Google stuff and maybe read one page of a book, maybe one time, and didn't look any further. They or some of them might have come from the north of Europe, from Norway to Iceland, then to Greenland, and thence to the coast of Labrador and farther west. But the consideration of those different people does not affect our subject. You see this? Which I've always said. I've never ran from this. Like, yeah, I don't believe there are people, but you know what? Historically, from what I read, we never had issues with them. They're passive people. Did we mix? I'm sure we did, but not overwhelming. Come on, man, give me a break. Come on, bro, give me a break. I think this is an important point because a lot of times we have people that want to use this narrative and then try to, what I always say, take the spirit of our people. They want to take the spirit of our people. So let me go to page 178 because it actually confirms that as well. Let me see. Give me a second. Let me find it. 178. Yep, this is it right here. Here it goes right here. Let's see if I can get to the point. Is it this one or this one? Sacred convocation worthy of notice, never prostrate themselves. Okay, so here it goes right here. Okay, just to finalize my point. Under the eighth argument, Mr. Adair says the ceremonies of the Indians in their religious worship are more. I'm sorry, this is page 176. It says this James Adair now. Okay, so James Adair is so Ethan Smith is talking about what James Adair was saying, and Ethan Smith is supporting his argument of what he found as well. The ceremonies of the Indians in their religious worship are more after the Mosaic institutions than of the pagan imitation, which could not be if the majority of the old nations were of heathenish descent. Now, if you guys remember, Barbara Simmons from the Israel's Found or Lost Tribes Israel Found, something to that effect. I have the book. She was saying exactly this right here. Okay. She was exactly talking about these things that, that supposedly these Jesuits made this notion that Satan made us follow these laws, that we weren't Israelites, that we were just some made up tribe, that we just picked up these customs from other nations. So he's saying the ceremonies of the Indians in their religious worship are more after the Mosaic institution than of the pagan imitation. You see, what it means is we're more original than as us being conversos, which could not be if the majority of the old nation were of heathenish descent. They are utter strangers to all the gestures practiced by the pagans in their rich religious rites. They have another appellative which with them is the mysterious essential name God. It says the tetragrammaton, or the great four-lettered name, which they never name in common speech, of the time and place when and where they mention it. They are very peculiar and always with a solemn air. It is well known what sacred regard the Jews had to the four-letter divine name, so as scarcely ever to mention it, but once a year when the high priest went into the sanctuary at the expiation of sins. All right. Then it says, might not the Indians copy from them the sacred invocation Yahiwah? Other methods of invoking God in a solemn hymn with that reverent deportment and spending a full breath on each of the first syllables of the awful divine name. So you see what he's saying? He's spending a full breath on each of the two first syllables. Yah, like Yah. So it's one pronunciation, but there's like Yah, Yah, Yah. It's like two, a breathe in, breathe out concept, like wow, something like that, right? They may be worthy of noticing that they never prostrate themselves nor bow their heads, bow their bodies to each other by the way of salute or homage, though usually with stern nations, except when they are making reverence, renewing peace with strangers who come in the name of Yah. You see this? So now it says here. Let me see if I can find it. It says here to finish. Let's see. Note the convent. Everybody's don't bring communication. Ignorance, popular preachers. Hold on a second here. East part those days, so many geographers stretch Asia Marathon. Is this it? Sent many American to inform us on theirs came up. The religious rights, merchandise, custom, obtain knowledge of them. We learned America. Let's go ahead and read this. Let's read this real quick, okay? And then we're done. Page 178, it says, those who descend from my opinion of the American Indians' origin, he adds, ought to inform us how the natives came here and by what means they found a long chain of rites and customs so similar to the usage of the Hebrew nations, and in general, similar to the modest of the pagan world. They're basically, the majority of our customs were of Hebrew origin. Yes, there was some paganism involved, but not as much as the Hebrew origin. Their religious rites, marital customs, dress, music, dance, and domestic form of life, clearly to evidence also that they came to America in early times before sex had sprung up among the Jews, which was soon after their prophets' seeds, also before arts and science had arrived at any perfection. Otherwise, it is likely they would have retained some knowledge of them. It says, we learn from Dr. Robertson's History of America that the Mexicans had the tradition that their ancestors came from a remote country situated to the northwest of Mexico. The Mexicans, he says, points out their various stations as they advance from this into the interior province, and it is precisely the same route which they must have held if they had been immigrants from quote-unquote Asia, right? Now it says here, to finish it off, Mr. Adair says that though some have composed or supposed the Americans to be descendants from Chinese, Mongolians, remember, right? Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Sounds familiar. Yet neither their religion, law, or custom agree in the least with those of Chinese. Damn it. That's very true, and I told people that. We have our food is different, our clothes, our dress is different, our music is different, our compartment is different. It's just different. Then it says, and he says that the remaining traces of their religion, ceremonies, and civil... I'm sorry, let me go back. Yet neither their religion, laws, or customs agree with at least with those of Chinese, which sufficiently prove that they are not of this line. And he says that the remaining traces of this religion, or their religious ceremonies, and civil and marital customs are different from those of the old Scythians. He thinks, therefore, that the old opinion that the Indians are descendants from Tartar or ancient Scythians should be exploded as weak and without foundation. Oh,
that's gonna hurt.
So Wobbles, please. You gotta eat crow, bro. Y'all need to just stop. Just stop. Just stop where you're at, for real. Just stop. Those who had advanced the affirmative have not been able to produce much, if any, evidence that any of the religious rites found among the Indians and resembling those of ancient Israel have ever been found among any people in east of Asia. Such a thing cannot be expected. Those rites were arbitrary, established only in Israel, and designed to distinguish them from all other nations. It is utterly admissible then to suppose that these Indians' riots may be accounted for from an idea that the Indians may have learned from them other heathen nations. With very similar proprietary might the unbeliever in divine revelation say that the Jews in ancient Israel derived their religion not from God, also as the Bible supports, but from the heathen nations, who at that time might have, we know, have just such religious customs. You see what I'm saying? So it says, if the Aborigines derived these rites and customs from ancient Asiatic heathen, why not some of those heathen themselves retain some of them? Ooh. Right? How come they don't not making tacos de carne asada over there? How come they're not making mariachi music? You know what I mean? How come they're not making tamales? How come they're not eating corn like we do? Why not have some of those heathenists themselves retain some of them and disseminate them through some other parts of the world besides the vast wilds north of North and South America? So it says, Captain Caber is able to find that some of the people northeast of Asia once presented to some of the Russians their pipe of peace. The people of Israel, as they passed by the people in ancient days, may have caught this custom from them, as none pretend this was a Hebrew riot, or those few people, those noted in Asia, may have caught this custom from Indians over Bering Strait. But this is nothing compared with the many Hebrew riots found among the natives of America. You see? Now, I know that I have this book here. I said I was going to be finished with this, but I'm going to show you this, and I'll end up with this, so you can see what I'm talking about. Valera, a famous writer, right? He tried to pin us into being some particular type of people, right? So he's talking about the history of Occidentalis, Peruvian history, right? Valera is he writes this book. Okay, so we see what time we're talking about. Let me get to the point. This is what he says. Listen to this. It says that a few sections that remain of Valera's work on this subject, he apparently speculated that the people of America originated from the ancient Chaldeans. Remember what I told you, or where Abraham sojourned or originated from? This is why it's good to read and know the Bible, because if you read and you know the Bible, then you can't be fooled. So it says here that this individual says that we once originated from the ancient Chaldeans, who once lived in the plains of Shinar in the Persian Gulf. That is this right here. Okay, the ancient Chaldeans is Ur of the Chaldees, right here, the Persian Gulf. Okay, where Abraham actually came from. The patriarch of Abraham is from the Chaldees, right? So in his own error, and in his own hate, he actually puts us right in the cross lines of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Let's continue. Who once lived in the plains of Shinar in the Persian Gulf. The chronicler wrote that the religion of the natives in Greater Florida and the Caribbean islands was derived from the practices of Chaldeans, who worshipped only natural features such as lakes, springs, and stars. Likewise, he claimed that the faith of the first Peruvians was molded of that of the Chaldeans. Now, check this out. The Chaldeans were renowned in biblical history for founding the city of Ur, from whence came Abraham, the father of the Hebrew nation. They were believed to have descended directly from Noah, and they became famous as learned astrologers, priests, and magicians. By linking the ancient Peruvians to the Chaldeans, Valera was placing the people of the New World in the framework of the biblical history. See? Now, that wasn't technically the book I wanted to show you, but it leads me to this one. I'm glad I actually found it. And I promise, this is the last one, all right? So this is from Descriptions of the Indies 1620. Number 55, it says, Ezra says that at the close of this extended journey, they colonized and lived in that region, which was called Arsareth. I've showed you the map where Arsareth is, at the corner of Russia, close to Alaska. That the very learned Arthur Genebrard, in Book 1 of his chronology, states that Arsareth is the extreme point of Tartary, or Scythia, that is a cape or promontory, which is the boundaries of the landmarks dividing the old from the new, above the Straits of Anian, which what they call the Barren Straits now, and near which they cross from that country to New Spain. So now, remember what we read, that there's a possibility we could have picked up customs as we passed through, right? Valera says that, yeah, these guys aren't Israelites, but they do seem to come from that origin of the because they have those traditions. So apparently he's putting us with people of those traditions, correct? Okay, so they could have gone that route, meaning from Israel all the way across to India and China. Since there, in the region of Cathay, the people inhabiting that country keep the Old Testament and the laws of Moses. You see that? Further up north, although many with superstition besides. This is a full and sufficient proof that the members of the 10 tribes passed through there and settled there, since it is clear from their observation of the law, and from there could easily cross the straits or channel which lies between China and the kingdom of Anian, as may be seen on the globes or maps. And from the kingdom of Anian, they went on exploring and colonizing those countries of the New World before seen or settled by human beings. You see, in this channel, what we do is we read you material and then we prove to you what we're reading and how we can confirm it. So we don't just kind of, we don't just tell you things, and we don't just throw a scripture at you and then tell you to go find it. Or we don't just say, read this chapter 28 and you'll find us in there. We don't do that. So now I'm going to give you a map, I'm sorry. I've given you many books. So I'm going to give you a map. And hopefully this map can make sense. I don't know why it's taking a while, but apparently it is. Hold on, family. Not sure why it's taking a while, dude. That's crazy. It usually doesn't take that long. Testing 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I don't know why it's taking that long. Let's see. I think finally you'll get there. Damn, dude. Is it time to get a new media card? I think it's time to get a video card. My stuff is working too slow. Anyways, the map is from 1587. Urbano Monte, or Monte Urbano, I believe is Urbano Monte. I believe that's what it is. Okay, so here we go. Let's get to the point and then we'll call it a day. There we go, right there. Bam, bam. There it goes right there. Okay, so we see right there, you see Arsareth, and then we see the streets, Estrechos de Anian, right? So Arsareth, Estrechos de Anian, Arsareth, Estrechos de Anian. See, skipping a hop. Maybe next class what I'll do is I'll show you guys more material on this name, Kivara. Providence of Kivara. All right. Anyways, with that being said, man, I hope you had a appreciative, edifying night or day. I should call it night, day. Shoot, it's early in the morning, dude. I usually do classes at night. And anyways, for all you guys that are still trying to figure yourselves out, you know what I mean? Continue to watch. And don't just come up to this channel and make statements and assume that you know what you're talking about. Why don't you watch this for a little while? Go back to the videos. Maybe you'll learn something. And get out of your emotions. If you're Israel, then you're Israel. If you ain't, you ain't. It's that simple. You can't change a damn thing. Can't confuse. I mean, you know what I mean? You and again, it's like the scriptures say, you cannot make a crooked tree straight. So y'all have a good night, man. Hey, shalom, Joe. Good to have you here, brother. Will be revealed. What's up, bro? Sounds like Christianity. Some of them now saying the Most High from Old Testament is evil. Can you believe that? Yeah, yeah, you showed me that. It's crazy. All right, brother. So, in case I didn't catch your name, anybody else? What's up, Chris? I didn't see you, man. What's up, Meshiacha? Too. What's up, Jeremias? Buenos dias. Good to see you, bro. Appreciate you guys. Like and share, please. Would appreciate that. You guys have a good day. I'm gonna close it up now. All right. All right. Hold on. Let me play some music, and then we'll be all set. Let me see if I can do this real quick. Give me a second. All right. Let's see. Try to nah, I don't want to play that. Let's see if I can play this one for you guys. I don't think I played this one in a while. I found this recently. Oh, I did play that. I did play that initially. That's right, I did. Matter of fact, I'll just end it with this. To be honest, I woke up early. As a matter of fact, I'll do it this. All right. Have a good night, family. You guys take care of yourselves.
Estamos aquí, oye, que estamos aquí. Mírame, estamos aquí. Desde hace rato, cuando ustedes llegaron, ya estaban las huellas de nuestros zapatos. Se robaron hasta la comida de gato y todavía se están lamiendo el plato. Bien encabronados con estos ingratos. Hoy le doy duro a los tambores hasta que me acusen de maltrato. Si no entiendes el dato, pues te lo tiro en cumbia, bossa nova, tango o vallenato. A lo calaboy y bambú, bien frontú, con sangre caliente como Timbuktu. Estamos dentro del menú. Tupac se llama Tupac por Tupac Amaru del Perú. América no es solo USA, papá. Esto es desde Tierra del Fuego hasta Canadá. Hay que ser bien bruto, bien hueco. Es como decir que África es solo Marruecos. Estos canallas se les olvidó que el calendario que usan se lo inventaron los mayas con la Valdivia precolombina. Desde hace tiempo, este continente camina, pero ni con toda la marina pueden sacar de la vitrina la peste campesina. Esto va para el capataz de la empresa. El machete no es solo para cortar caña, también es para cortar cabeza.
Aquí estamos, siempre estamos, no nos fuimos, no nos vamos. Aquí estamos pa' que te recuerdes. Si quieres mi machete te muerde. Aquí estamos, siempre estamos, no nos fuimos, no nos vamos. Aquí estamos pa' que te recuerdes. Si quieres mi machete te muerde. 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 Te muerde, te muerde.
Los paramilitares, las guerrillas, los hijos del conflicto, las pandillas, las listas negras, los falsos positivos, los periodistas asesinados, los desaparecidos, los narcogobiernos, todos los que robaron, los que se manifiestan y los que se olvidaron, las persecuciones, los golpes de estado, el país en quiebra, los exiliados, el peso devaluado, el tráfico de droga, los carteles, las invasiones, los emigrantes sin papeles, 5 presidentes en 11 días, disparo a quemarropa por parte de la policía, más de 100 años de tortura, la nova trova cantando en plena dictadura. Somos la sangre que sopla la presión atmosférica. Gambino, mi hermano, esto sí es América.
Aquí estamos, siempre estamos, no nos fuimos, no nos vamos. Aquí estamos pa' que te recuerdes. Si quieres mi machete te muerde. Aquí estamos, siempre estamos, no nos fuimos, no nos vamos. Aquí estamos pa' que te recuerdes. Si quieres mi machete te muerde. 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 Te muerde, te muerde.
ይቃል
Hijo, abre los ojos. Tu cuerpo se queda con nosotros, pero tu espíritu debe seguir. Busca la luz. Aléjate de las sombras. Deja que nuestro dolor sea tu fuerza. Desde aquí iluminamos tu camino. Lucha como nosotros ante esta pena tan grande. Yo soy tú. Tú eres yo. La muerte que hoy nos separa, mañana volverá a unirnos. Eres libre, hijo.